One time, one time, one time, one time. Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, you already know. This is the RSC, the Ringside Club. And before we get the show started, like we usually do, it's survey time. So this week, the survey to go around the ring is wrong answers only. Seeing as how CM Punk is showing up Monday Night Raw and wherever the hell else. Wrong answers only. Name the next place CM Punk shows up backstage. I'm going to go on and say game one. New York Knicks versus Miami Heat, because the Heat need all the help they could get. Ryan, what it do?
Yo, I think he's going to come back to WWE and he's going to show up to like Sunday Night Heat or Live Wire.
Man, bro, Heat out of retirement.
Bro, what year did you was dropping to?
No, I feel like Vince or Triple H is gonna bring that back. He's a little hot right now, so all right, you're gonna start off over here, and then you're gonna build your way back up. You know what I'm saying?
He threw Punk in the time portal.
Yo, I'm just saying.
Sunday Night Heat.
Chad, what it do?
Punk is going to show up at the next Chloe Bailey concert.
He's trying to see them. He's trying to see them things, and we trying to start the show. Let's do it.
Peace to the gods, the Ringside Club hard. My name is A.O. Say you're the Ron the Don. Blame Boogie while you at it. Blame Chad Law. K-Fabe is dead. Break the fourth wall. Whatever style, whether it's lucha or strong style. Come through the venue, fly, burn the ball down. Back to the pad, chop it up for the par. Ringside Club, intro to the squad as the show starts.
Yes, sir. Peace, 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 peace.
Look at I wear my shit like fucking wear my shit like the Undertaker right now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why not?
Baby. I'm here. I'm still here, man. Ain't nobody take the title from me. It's the kid.
I mean, it's hard to take a title off of somebody that didn't get called out for, but we'll fix that next week for sure.
There's a few events coming up, so let's see.
This shows he's a TV champ. Boog is the predictions.
Boog
PPV.
is Boog Lesnar. He don't even show up.
He's the pay-per-view champ, yeah, right?
This guy don't even show up, man. This guy got a title belt and don't even show up to defend his shit, man. You know what I mean? In true fashion.
Word up. Peace to Boog, who's outside on assignment.
Yo, salute to Boog.
See you in here with the triad, the triple threat. But in case you don't know, this is the Ringside Club, pro wrestling's finest and my favorite podcast. A lot of good things to talk about this week. But before we get into all that, in case you don't know who we are, you can find out all of the info that you might need to know at theringsideclub.com. Right now, we're on air and we're live. 9:05 live, boys and girls. Every Thursday night, 9:05 on YouTube. And then you can catch us on demand. If you missed it live, catch us on demand. YouTube is where the video is at. Twitter, TikTok. Excuse me, that's the social. But if you're looking for the audio, that's Spotify. Too, right? Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, we're live on Twitch right now, too. Live on Twitch right now. Good call. And then if you want to catch us on demand on the audio, that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere else podcasts are available. You can tell a friend, tag a friend in, let them know what's going on over here. And like I mentioned earlier, the socials, that's the TikTok, the Instagram, the Twitter. Tap in with us, man. Ronnie's over here live tweeting up a storm.
Oh, no, as usual.
Yeah, man.
Got for all them shows, man. I got to get my 2 cents off.
2 cents. 2 cents make $1 where I'm from, you man. But here we go, man. If you don't know who I am the king of podcast kayfabe. I'm ringside, never backstage. My name, of course. Oh, man, I hit the button at the same time, but of course I'm going to pass it to my mans and them. Let's hit it one more again for the kid.
Hey, who are you? Let me introduce you to the other Don.
Yes, sir. You know, the Don is back in the building. Ron the Don. Catch me on all socials, Ron Don PMF. Check the gear. See the gear we all rocking. You dig? Peep the hat my man is wearing. Go cop some coffee too. Cop some gear. And go listen to the past podcasts, man.
Yeah.
Check us out. You know what I'm saying? And we be live tweeting out here too, man. When anything is available, you dig? All right. Or what's good, Mr. Godiva, young Godiva, pardon. Go belt. Go belt Chad.
This guy.
You know what I'm saying? It is I, Young Godiva himself, CHADLAW, the reigning and defending Ringside Club Predictions Television Champion, longest reigning, most reigning. I am him, right in the flesh. Hit a pod with my boys, man. It's been a great week, better than last week, I feel like. Had a lot of time to catch up on last week's content. I didn't actually get to partake in the Brian H. Waters episode, but great episode. Shout out to him. Very sick. Y'all talked about Goldberg. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I'm the biggest Goldberg advocate. And y'all did a Goldberg topic without me.
I was kind of ready to talk about that too.
Y'all was slick for that. You know what I'm saying? I caught that, but it's all good.
We can run it back anytime you want, bro.
It's all right. We got a lot of time to all in when Goldberg appears. It's okay. You know what I mean?
And you're right.
Shit, you might be right.
And you're right.
Put it in the universe, so shit might
we looking real uniform, fellas. I appreciate the unity right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see how we rocking Ringside Club. Get the merchandise, RSC, shirts, hats, T-shirts, hoodies. We rocking out here, man. You know what I'm saying? The belt going to be next. Don't worry. Y'all going to have that to cop, you know what I'm saying, for the 2023-2024 season. It's coming, man. We got a lot of things in the pipeline. Let's go. Pause, by the way, too. You know what I mean?
It's all good. It's all good.
Man.
It's all good.
We gonna pod for you, my man. You know what I'm saying? You and your Bug Lesnar shit, taking your time off right now, getting to that bread.
Suplex City shit, man.
That's it. That's it. We gonna hold it down. 3-man booth tonight, fellas. Let's get to it, Ayo. What we talking about tonight, man? We got a lot on the docket.
We got a lot. We got a fully packed show. Fully packed show. But who else do you trust but the Ringside Club to let you know what is and what it ain't? So for starters, of course, like you mentioned, Chad, peace to Brian H. Waters, and thank you for guesting on our show last week. The door is always open for you. You're welcome whenever you want to chop it up with us. Peace to those wrestling girls, by the way, too, because that's how we originally got linked up. And looking to have them on the show pretty soon as well. So peace to Krista B. And, of course, PR, Queen PR. But let's get into the real quick. Let's 2, 3, 4 minute it out. A couple headlines, some things that are going on off of TV that I think we could probably talk about it real quick. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, he confirmed that AEW was actively working to fix the problem of hot acts disappearing from TV after getting some momentum. And there's been a lot of talk about the new upcoming Saturday show and maybe a hard or soft roster split, whatever that looks like. So it seems as though that's kind of going in that direction. Maybe that's the solution to get some people more time once they start heating up, especially to continue that momentum. Because we've talked about that a little bit, about sometimes people have something really good going and then all of a sudden they're just not doing anything or they're not on TV or whatever. So Sean Ross Sapp confirmed that. Also, the Senior Vice President and Chief Legal Officer Mega Parekh, she confirmed that AEW All Out officially will happen the week after All In. So they're going back to back. You got All In at Wembley Stadium, 90,000, however many people can fit in that stadium, and then the next weekend is going to be All In. All Out. So All Out's happening the weekend after All In.
That's in Chicago, right?
Damn.
I don't know if they've announced it, but more than likely, it seems like it's always in Chicago. So they're going from London straight to Chicago, and they're doing 90,000, and then right on the back of that, a new pay-per-view. And the thing is about, at least for us that may or may not be going to both, All In isn't necessarily listed as a pay-per-view yet. So we'll see how they actually broadcast. It might be on Max, HBO Max.
We got to go. We got to figure out. We got to make that change. Yeah, we got to do something.
I want to hit London, period, for culture reasons and shit. But
shouts to the bruvs out there, yeah.
Shouts to the bruvs.
I got family out there, so definitely gotta check them out too. So definitely another reason to go out there.
And one last news note, and I'm not gonna belabor this because this is specifically the Brittany Abrahams versus WWE lawsuit and the complaint that she filed earlier this week that hit Bloomberg Law. Bloomberg reported it, and then everybody else picked it up. The best person to talk about this, and I was listening to this podcast earlier, would be Kaz. He's over on The Ringer. He was on the Masked Man show today. Shouts to Kazim. Because he is a former WWE writer and he's black. So he knows those kind of conversations that may or may not happen, and maybe even some of the people that are associated in that complaint. But in case you aren't exactly aware of what's going on, I'm going to run through this very, very quick. Bloomberg Law reports that Brittany Abrahams, she's a black woman. She worked for WWE in creative as a writer 2020 to 2022. She's suing the company. So Vince, Stephanie, somebody named Christine Lubrano, who's the senior vice president of creative writing, SmackDown vice president Ryan Callahan, and then a few other writers like Chris Dunn, Mike Heller, and Jen Pepperman. They're all listed as defendants. And basically it's about, she feels that she was discriminated against and retaliated against for objecting to offensively racist and stereotypical jargon that was written for Bianca Belair, Apollo Crews, other women, and other minorities. I work in advertising. I'm a writer. Here's what usually happens. And then the bigger the company, you also got to keep in mind the more stages of like reviews this actually goes through. So you have the people that start writing, and then they have somebody they report to. That person leads that team, and then you have multiple teams of writers. So you may have 6 teams, 8 teams, 10 teams that all keep, reporting up. It's like a triangle. And every one of them has to then go report, this is what my team came up with. What do you think? At the end of the day, it goes up to Vince. He's the person that says yay or nay, this is or isn't going on TV. But the reason why this is all believable to me is because on the pitch, like this is what, when things get quote unquote left on the cutting room floor, people pitch all kind of bullshit. Some things make it through, most don't. It's like sperm, pause. So most of the time, the shit that gets pitched ain't making it through. But there's no telling. There could be all kind of wild things that people are actually pitching down there, which is why some of this stuff really doesn't surprise me. And then the reputation that WWE has had, not so much over the last couple of years, but just in its history, 50 plus years or however long it's been a company, you can't tell me there ain't been some wild ass stereotypical characters over that whole history. So the fact that none of this actually made it to TV means that it got stomped out. But the fact that this was pitched and is listed in the complaint, and she has like screenshots and Slack screenshots and all that, to actually verify all of this stuff, I would assume. I can't speak to the legality of all of this. She's saying that basically she got fired for taking a WrestleMania 38 chair home, which is what they told her that they were firing her for. But there's a bunch of writers that always take them chairs, and there ain't no, repercussions against that. So all this lines up with some shit that I could see absolutely possibly happening. You know what I'm saying? We got a new segment this week.
Yeah, we do. All right.
You got to introduce this.
Ringside Club, folks. This is a running tagline that I've been using in our group chat for months about certain wrestlers being cooked. Now, when I say they're cooked, I meant like they might really be done for. Like there's no coming back after like they've been sentenced to the depths of Main Event, Dark Elevation, Rampage, the lower card of SmackDown after having main proper, highlighted feuds and title feuds, and the dead hour of Raw. Like there's certain wrestlers who we, felt like are pretty cooked for the most part. But over the course of deciding on this whole segment, we've decided to spread it out. Pause. We've got now 3 parts for all y'all. We got 3. We got prepped, we got cooked, and we got fried. Mm-hmm. Now, when we say prepped, they're prepped to being cooked, meaning that they're in a position right now, and we'll use some examples. I'll use some examples to show y'all that they can be salvaged. They're being seasoned. They have a chance, but they ain't really cooked all the way yet. Cooked means they've already had their chance. They've already won a title, lost the title, and they're in purgatory now. And Ron, we said fried. Because well, after you're cooked, you're pretty much fried. Yeah, you're pretty much, yeah. And we'll use some examples as we talked about in pre-pro. You use some people that you think would be fried. You know what I'm saying? We'll counter the fried. So prep, cooked, and fried, ladies and gentlemen. The Ringside Club, the local foodie here. You know what I'm saying? Young Godiva himself. I had to bring a food segment in here to mesh with this, to make it all make sense for my food viewers who watch the Ringside Club. I'm going to start with my prepped wrestler for the week. I'm going to go with, Ayo, you made me convinced. I'm going to say Will Hobbs is prepped right now. He ain't cooked. He ain't fried. But boy, he's almost out of here. He is almost out of here. You know what I'm saying? Losing the TNT title quick. 3 weeks, useless defenses on Rampage, Dark Elevation, QTTV, and now he's on the back burner of a feud that's essentially turning into Wardlow and Luchasaurus, which may be another 3-way feud, which isn't really the way we need to be going, considering he just had a 3-way feud with Samoa Joe and Wardlow. Next, I'm going to go with Cooked. My cooked wrestler for the week, I'm going to say, is Ali. Granted, Ali got a victory, but after this, we don't think he's going to be winning much anything else. I think it's pretty much doomsday for Ali. You know what I'm saying? And as far as fried, a wrestler who is truly fried and ain't no coming back from it, I'm going to say Damage Control. The whole group. They are fried.
That's a good one.
Particularly Bailey. Bailey's fried right now. Bailey's got like that I'm about to get out the WWE vibe. Although she's a lifer, she's turned into the female Dolph Ziggler. And I don't like to see this. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Who's got next? Prep, cook, fried. It's the Ringside Club.
I'll go next. I had a few people on the list, but I say for I'll say Cook for now. I'll say Ali.
Who's your prep? Who's prepped? Who's prepped to be cooked?
I think it's prepped.
Who's being prepped?
Maybe looking at my list right now.
I just did mine on the fly.
Okay, I had I'll say Keith Lee as for prepped. Because, listen, he's still out there. He ain't fully cooked this yet. You know, I think you gotta give him time to get his bearings back on Dynamite and Rampage. I don't think he ain't fully cooked this yet.
You think a tag team with Dustin Rhodes is gonna do it?
I don't think that's gonna do it. I think they should put him by himself and build from there. Try that and see. If not, then he gonna be fried. You know what I'm saying? As for Cooked, I had put Ali in there because, listen, I tweeted this numerous times. The man came out as Papa the Rapper the other day. He's came out as like a whole bunch of stuff. They're trying to really put him over, but then they finally put him in a match this week, and it was cool. But I don't know, man. Listen, I have him in my segment, like in a few, but for now he's cooked, man. And
who's fried?
Who's fried? Man, I got
who's fried this week from all the content you've seen? Who do you think is just this guy's cooked? This guy's fried. You already said cooked. You can even use the same ones. We can use the same wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? Right. Give your reasoning why. It doesn't matter. We all might have the same feeling about who's fried. Because I know when I said Bailey just now, when I think of fried, I'm like, Damage Control. Yeah. Definitely. They're done.
I feel Damage Control is cooked. I feel like with the right booking, they could be salvageable again, but I'm not going to say completely fried. Man, shit, I got to think about it because it's a few people.
Just shoot one.
It's a few people. Maybe you know what, man. Like
not everyone is that fried, man. Not everyone can be fried.
Right. You know what?
You could damn near say Karrion Kross if you want to.
There you go. Karrion Kross.
You know what? Perfect.
Yo, perfect. Thank you. Perfect. Karrion Kross, because dude came back, had a little run with Rey Mysterio, and who's he feuding with now? He's
about to have a feud with Shinsuke on the horizon.
Okay, that should
be actually all right. That should be all right. But for the most part, he's pretty fried.
That should be decent, but listen, if this don't work out, my man is fried, salted. He's fried. He's burnt at that point. If that don't work out. Oh, like
that boy crispy.
Like crispy. Yo, facts. Yo, yeah. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I forgot about Karrion Kross. You see how forgettable he is because he ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, my fried guy for the week is Karrion Kross. There you go.
Hey yo, what you got? Prepped, cooked, fried.
I got two preps.
Okay.
I have two preps. I don't know about cooked and fried. I ain't really think about it too tough yet. You know me though, ringside, never backstage. So what happened on TV this week? One of my fried wrestlers is Sami Zayn.
You think Sami Zayn is fried?
Cooked, fried, prepped.
Okay.
I'll tell you, he's prepped. He's probably prepped, and I'll tell you why.
I think he's prepped. I don't think fried is crazy for Sami Zayn. I gotta hear this. I don't think he's fried.
On television.
Cooked. I gotta hear this. Cooked for Sami Zayn? I don't know, man.
You know what? I can see why you're gonna. I may see why you're gonna say that. But
on television, Sami Zayn begged Kevin Owens, "I need you to fight by my side. Stand by me. We got to take the bloodline down. I can't do it by myself. You can't do it by yourself." He begged him, begged him, begged him, begged him. Finally, KO said, "All right, you're my brother." They went into WrestleMania. They beat the Usos. They won the tag team championships. What does Sami Zayn then do after they win the championships? He then goes and tries to talk to and save the Usos, specifically Jey Uso. You don't need this. I don't fuck with you. I'm going to take this from you, but now I'm going to go back over here and tell you, yo, I really do care about you. The Usos don't fuck with Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens is getting annoyed, and he's almost at the point that he's not going to fuck with Sami Zayn, and at some point he's going to get tired of him, especially considering that tomorrow they have a tag team match. What if they're not on the same page? So he's prepped, speaking of Sami Zayn, because KO is going to fry his ass sooner or later. Sami Zayn. My other prep, I have QT Marshall. You have Powerhouse Hobbs as being prepped or cooked or fried or whatever the fuck.
He's prepped. He's prepped.
He's not, in my opinion. Here's why. He was on television last night and said, yo, I was doing better when I followed the book. So he won the title, lost the title, had some defenses on Rampage, but he lost the title, and then he realized, and now he's going to clean up the mistake. There was no reason for me to be with QTV, QT Marshall, the crew, none of y'all. And QT Marshall said, yo, we're going to go to plan B, and he's still not good enough to get the job done. So QT Marshall is prepped because Powerhouse Hobbs realizes his mistake, and he's going to fry his ass. Powerhouse Hobbs is fine.
So you think Powerhouse Hobbs going into a feud with QT Marshall on Rampage is what's going to get this guy out of being prepped and save him from being fried?
I think him realizing the mistake of his ways and getting that nasty-ass crew off of his back is the steps to go forward that he needs.
This is the long-term storytelling that we've been aching for AEW to give us.
Is it not a story? See, the thing that be killing me, right, is everybody wants everybody to win so nobody could lose. But when somebody loses, they're done. Who loses?
QT Marshall should not even be active right now doing this shit. Will Hobbs should be in a way better position right now than this. Way better.
Powerhouse. So fast forward this, right? When Powerhouse Hobbs gets rid of QTV and QT Marshall, and then he goes back to build himself up and have these singles matches, that doesn't mean anything? That was a pothole that he's moving past. No?
It shouldn't have been a pothole to...
But it was. That shit should have been...
But it was. We can't say shouldn't, but the shit happens. But it was. So what? So now what?
I just can't get excited and be behind Powerhouse Hobbs having a full-on feud with QT Marshall and the interchangeable QTV crew just for the sake of what? You won't make it... At this rate, Hobbs isn't even going to make it to Double or Nothing. And that's unfortunate because the man's was the champion 3 weeks ago that we were all clamoring for. And he's right now facing a feud with QT at best for the next 3 weeks. That's a long list of my gripe with the black wrestlers in AEW and the way they're being booked.
I feel like when he won the title, I thought they were going to keep it on him for like 2 or 3 months. I thought this was going to be it.
Yo, it's crazy. I didn't even feel like he was going to have a long title reign because Wardlow's still there. I had a feeling, but I didn't think it was going to be that soon. I was like, maybe they'll save it for the pay-per-view to get the pay-per-view pop, unfortunately. But at that point, at least Hobbs would have had 6-7 weeks, maybe, which is like a little better or just about average for a TNT title reign. So it's like, I would have accepted the title switch at the pay-per-view when they had a one-on-one match again or an actual dog fight. But maybe that's because they're both so green that they can't have a full-on match. I don't know if it just didn't work well. We don't know. We can't speculate, but
I can't call it. But if it feels like when Zack Ryder won the IC belt that one time
and then lost it to the Miz the next night.
The next
Fire.
night.
Fire match though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, definitely
that was a great Miz era.
But after that, it was like, yo, what's happening? That's how I felt about the situation, because it's like you just put the belt on the dude. I thought this was gonna be like a legitimate push to at least to the next pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? So
what I wish the TNT title would turn into was like not everybody that has to have a match or a feud with this. Not everyone has a feud with this title. Matches is one thing, but a feud, I'd be wanting the next feud to be the champion. Like Luchasaurus, I'm like, hell yeah, I want Luchasaurus as the TNT champion. Definitely, I'm with that. But then it's like, what the fuck happened to Hobbs? Like, damn, now I just gotta forget about Hobbs and shit. Like, damn, man. Like, at least put my man's in a feud with Orange. Maybe let him end Orange Cassidy's run. Like, I would suffice as that. I'd be happy to see that.
Like, put him in something legitimate.
I don't know. See, my whole point is like, I ain't talking about booking, because I ain't booking shit. I'm talking about the dude had the title, lost the title, and the reason that he had the title and lost the title was the people that he's about to fuck up and get rid of. So he was doing fine. I have no reason to believe that he's not going to regain his momentum once he gets rid of the people that fucked it up in the first place.
So he's going face, essentially.
He was a face before he was with QTV. So why not? People were cheering. See, again, fuck face and heel. People were cheering this dude before QT Marshall came out with the chair or whatever, and they double teamed Wardlow. So
no
he was
explanation for this. Like, no, it's just like, what are we? So now we're supposed to boo Will Hobbs because he's with QT? Are we cheering for him because like we don't like QT in general? It's like that's the confusing shit that I don't like about AEW booking.
I mean, if you stand somebody that you don't like next to somebody that you do like, you don't fuck with the person that you do like anymore.
Fair.
Yeah, that happens. You know,
that's life. You know what I'm saying? So,
but just again, to go back to, okay, now we fuck with Hobbs because he's got rid of them after 3 weeks of realizing that they're fucking jobbers, and why did I align myself with them?
Because it's like looking at your friend that makes a mistake, and you can't help him, and then you back up off him. And then he gets his shit together. It's like, all right, I see where you went wrong. I couldn't help you, but at least you're smart enough to help yourself.
I don't want to see Hobbs turn into the Lashley field where it's like, is he heel this week, face the next? We don't care because we just fuck with him. Like, I just want a defined role out of Hobbs. That's it. Maybe that's just me. That's just me. I just want a defined role when it comes to Hobbs. I don't want to feel like, do I have to cheer for this guy this week, or am I booing this guy this week? Like, I don't
want the big show treatment.
Right. You don't ever feel like you're about to boo Darby. You don't feel like you're going to boo Darby Allin. The common person does not want to boo Darby Allin. I might not like Darby Allin, but you don't want to genuinely boo Darby Allin.
Right.
The common person
what he is every
boo
week.
FTR.
Right. Word. Like, you know who Darby Allin is every week, though. Like, you can tell what he is. Like, he's whatever he is. You know what I'm saying? With Hobbs, like, I can't even call it. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's heel 1 week, then face the next, depending on who he's dealing with.
That's the confusing shit I don't like. So we can wrap it up. We just been, you know what I mean? Shout out to Will Hobbs. This might be some of the best time you get from a podcast in a minute, bro. We really have to deep dive on this shit because we support you here, my G. So I don't want nobody to think that we Will Hobbs, you know what I'm saying he's it's all the work for him, but you know.
It's not trash. It's just, for me, it's just the booking.
I will say, this segment, he did help inspire this segment, though, because he's been somebody I've been saying is cooked for a minute till we had our pre-pro, and I was like, maybe he ain't all the way done yet.
I don't know. I just can't get in. It ain't that hard to heat somebody up. You get rid of the shit that ain't working, and then you move forward. He's fine.
Yeah. All right, we'll see.
He's fine.
We shall see.
Let's get into these topics.
Somebody got to put up like a meter of like how many weeks we've been without Miro.
Fuck Miro. He ain't on TV. I don't care about him. I care about what happens between 8 and 10 o'clock. When he comes back, that's what's up.
Man. I miss Miro, man. AEW, man. Come on. Sean Ross Sapp reported on it. Fix Miro.
I don't care. The nigga ain't on TV. What you want me to do? I'm not clamoring for a nigga that ain't on TV. Moving along. Let's get into these topics. My topic here, I just want to talk a little bit about the mob boss, the Chris Jericho leading the charge against Adam Cole. We saw Roderick Strong, by the way, pop back up and reunite with Adam Cole. We got 2 of the 4 Undisputed Era blokes. They're linking back up because Adam Cole needs some help. He needed help last week. But this week, man, just like some supreme shit talking from Chris Jericho. He got on the Titantron. Adam Cole came out, called him out, said, y'all, let's get this settled right now. Chris Jericho popped up and said, yo, I don't want to be anywhere near you. And here's why. You were a foot away, and you allowed your girlfriend, the love of your life, to be beaten up, and you did nothing. You disgust me. Brother, man, if that ain't some of the most despicable shit, if you watched the show last week, you know that's not what happened. He was handcuffed to the ropes.
We know, yeah.
But Chris Jericho doing what elite, despicable people do. How do we feel? Where do we think this is going? Chris Jericho versus Adam Cole. For me personally, I think Adam Cole is on that campaign to eventually be the #1 contender for MJF for that title, and I think he will get the best of MJF. But I think Chris Jericho, for me, is like one of those guys that you have to pass. He's like the checkpoint. He's one of those main event checkpoints. And we haven't seen Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho before. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the 2 of them do. But how do we feel about this Chris Jericho versus Adam Cole little feud that we have going on right here?
I can't wait to see where it goes. Chris Jericho's gonna Chris Jericho. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna lie, do whatever, say whatever you say. He's a toxic man. Let's just put it like that. He's a toxic man. I think that segment last week was solid. Like they said, I think that was the first time they were actually, I think, in the ring together or whatever it was. But that segment was good. I can't wait to see where it goes. I popped hard when Roderick Strong came out on Wednesday. I said, yo, the Messiah of the Backbreaker is back. And I was like, I was wondering what happened with him.
Pause.
Yeah, pause. But that is his nickname, though. But, that's
what's fire? Like, there was never any leaks, right? Nobody actually knew when he left WWE. So nothing was reported about him even being a free agent in the first place.
Yeah, because I thought he was Well, I think the storyline was he had like some injury or something like that, right? So I don't know if that was legitimate.
He's the coach of Diamond Mine. They were just going to keep him as a coach role, and essentially that's all they saw for Roderick Strong in the WWE.
Yeah, and I know he wasn't having that. So, but it was good to that he's in AEW now, because when Adam Cole was being attacked, I had tweeted out. I was like, I wish one of the Undisputed Era was there to help him out, because nobody else is. I think I don't know where the hell Bobby Fish is at.
That man's cooked.
Yeah,
that man cooked right there.
Man, he's a fried fish. Like
Bobby Fish definitely fried fish. Kyle O'Reilly got the neck fusion surgery thing going on, so he's out for a minute. So it was really Orange Cassidy, Bandito, and Roderick Strong.
Yeah, so I'm not mad at it. I want to see where this is gonna go. They haven't like I was saying before, they haven't worked together before, from what I recollect. So definitely want to see where this goes. And they both, I always love, the guy, a good guy on the mic, so they're both good talkers. So there's going to be a lot of, you saw from Wednesday, do some things they got off. So I definitely want to see where this goes. So.
Let me adjust my hat on this one. Well, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about Adam Cole, Chris Jericho? I should be very excited, right? I feel like I'm looking forward to the feud, the match, everything that's supposed to come with it. What I'm not looking forward to is the next 7 months of Chris Jericho, Adam Cole that we're about to have. And it's really unfortunate that Adam Cole is about to spend the rest of his year in the Y2JAS purgatory. Roderick Strong arriving, amazing. Unfortunately, this is only going to buy us more time to not get a Chris Jericho-Adam Cole one-on-one match until probably Fyter Fest or something in the summertime. I don't think Double or Nothing will be the one-on-one match. And even if it is the one-on-one match, as allowed with Ricky Starks and previous other matches, who's to say that'll be the only match? Probably won't be the only match. Yes, Adam Cole might take the victory in the first one. Hell, Jericho could take the victory in the first one. All the more reason for them to have another 2 to 3 matches for the rest of the summer. So, essentially, with Britt Baker, Roderick Strong, War Games, every faction having a feud. I'm like not looking forward to the year that this is going to be for Adam Cole and Chris Jericho's whole feud. I guarantee that shit's going to take over the whole year, and it's just like, nah, this ain't the way you got to run Adam Cole up, man. I would love for it to be a one and done, but in AEW history and Chris Jericho history, as great as this shit is starting, this is not going to be the end. We've got a whole amount of trouble at the bubbles and fighter fests and fight at the light happening. That's going to see variations of Roderick Strong, Adam Cole versus the JAS, Adam Cole versus the entire JAS gauntlet, Adam Cole, Danny Garcia, First Blood, Adam Cole, Chris Jericho, steel cage match, Britt Baker, and fucking Britt Baker, Adam Cole, Sammy Guevara, and Ty Conti. We've got a lot of Adam Cole versus the JAS to unfortunately look forward to. I could be wrong, but history has proven me pretty right.
So if that is the case, if that happens, then you see somebody else coming in to help Adam Cole other than Roger Strong, because these two other Undisputed Era guys are like they're alpha now. Maybe you know what I'm thinking now? Maybe the Elite, maybe. Depending on
best friends can't buy airtime.
I don't think it could be the Elite because, like, you gotta remember before. This is definitely before Brawl Out, all of that shit. Before, matter of fact, before Forbidden Door, because this is before Adam Cole went out for the with the injury. He turned on them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That ain't reconciled.
Word.
Just because like they never actually reconciled and figured out, you know, how we're solving this. He just was not here. So just because he's getting cheered now doesn't mean that the Bucks fuck with him.
Then you think Bullet Club Gold? Probably not, because that is tied up with Ricky Starks and Sean Spears. Yo, holy shit, man. Yeah, so you got those guys. I don't think they'll be there to help. Yeah, we're gonna get some strange bedfellows like Orange Cassidy and Bandito, like this coming week on Dynamite, because we've got to just extend Orange Cassidy's reign. We've got to give Bandito something to do. And we don't have a place for Miro to be, so, you know, we clearly got to fill.
Fuck Miro. It's not on TV.
Me and Boog would attest to that, man. You know what I mean?
Your nigga ain't on TV. Neither is Andrade. Neither is a bunch of niggas. Come to work. Come to work. I can't just be home doing nothing and get paid.
Shit, they're using their PTO.
Come to work. They on wild paid time off.
See, niggas is complaining about CM Punk having to sit down, but Miro is chilling right now. So.
Chilling. Like, you know what's crazy about Punk is like the whole time he hasn't been here is probably just about the amount of time that it was going to take for him to heal from the injury. He was injured at the end of that match.
Yeah, he was.
So he was going to be out the same amount of time anyway. It's just that because he went off at the press conference, it was like we don't know if he's ever coming back. You know what I mean? But Miro, I haven't heard anything about Miro being injured.
Maybe
coming to work.
Maybe CM Punk will save Adam Cole. Maybe that's going to lead to something. Maybe that was worked into the Tampa meeting the other day. You know what I'm saying? Maybe CM Punk will be the savior for Adam Cole.
I can't call it.
I think the most interesting thing for me would be for Punk to come back, join BCC. Like I mentioned a couple episodes ago, that'd be fire. Like the fifth man. Who's your fifth man? You just basically run back to who's the third man NWO story. But who's the fifth man? Punk ends up coming out. That would be amazing. And then you have pretty much 4 ex-Federation guys and Wheeler Yuta, but all of these guys are like, you know, main events on some show. And it makes sense in the sense that when BCC first started and it was just Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley, they said, I can't team with somebody that I haven't bled with. So Moxley and damn, Siri. Yo, Siri, you got to relax.
Going off.
Siri going off. Mox and Bryan Danielson bled together to start the show. So, I mean, start the camp. You know, so Mox and Punk, that makes sense.
They should allow them both together, man.
But yeah, man. So I don't know. Like I think Chris Jericho is the main event checkpoint. I think anybody, at least as long as Chris Jericho is active, has to go through Chris Jericho for whatever
I'm not
reason.
mad. Just don't have it be the JAS gauntlet every feud, please.
Yeah, I think Adam Cole is going to be the one to take title off of MJF. I do.
I can see it happening, but it just depends on how they get there. You know,
I'm gonna go with Ron. I'm gonna piggyback off Ron.
It just occurred to me. We need 2 shows, and I'll tell you why. We need this show the way we talk about a whole bunch of shit, speculate and blah
dude,
blah blah.
I've been saying that.
We need another show that's storyline only, kayfabe. I'm gonna run. We just need to actually jump into the shit that's on TV only. Fuck anything that we read. Fuck tweets. If it ain't put out by the official federation's account, it don't matter. You know what I mean?
I like that.
So basically, a show like WWE.
Because this is what I was trying to do.
This is our Dynamite and our Rampage.
This is what I was trying to do with the Powerhouse Hobbs conversation. By the way, this is why I said he's fine, because once he gets rid of these dudes, he's gonna get back on his winning ways in storyline, right? If you're right, if I'm writing the shit, I never would have had him with QT Marshall and none of them in the first place, because he was doing fine, and he would have won that title and gotten cheered in his home state because he was in Cali when he had that match. So they did too much. They overrode it. But I was trying to just like, nah, this is kayfabe only. But we need another show, because bouncing back and forth in between, you know, smart mark shit versus storyline shit only is very difficult.
I get you.
It's very difficult. But I just be getting tired of shit, like complaining about niggas, because everything's fucked up. There are no good stories right now. Even the bloodline shit jumped the shark, bro.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into this right now. We're gonna get into this right now, and this is gonna lead into Ron's topic. But Boog ain't here, so I'm doubling up. Fuck it. We have a brand new title, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Why? This is some stupid shit. Why are we doing this?
Especially if you had 2 titles already. Yeah.
No. You have 3 world championships with 1 champion right now and about to crown a second. Here's the thing. There is a way out of this, that this could work, and then there is the mistake that they could make. For starters, it was a mistake in the first place to not figure out a creative way to get the titles off of Roman Reigns. You went into Montreal and he beat Sammy. You went into WrestleMania and he beat Cody. He's nowhere near Seth Rollins. He's nowhere near Bobby Lashley. And Brock Lesnar can't challenge for the title anymore. So you have no contenders. So this nigga's going to sit home and he's going to do nothing, and he's going to run the days up just so we can say that we had 1,000 days as the Universal Champion. That means something? That's cool?
That is legitimately what's the case. That is
so instead of putting in a little bit of, you already got 2 titles. This nigga's carrying 2 championships. I don't care if you call it the Undisputed Championship. It's 2 championships that he's walking outside with. Universal Championship was created in 2016. As of today, he's been a champ for 969 days. The WWE Championship was created in 1963, and he's been that champion for 388 days. And then we have this World Heavyweight Championship that was with WWE from 2002 to 2013, and prior to that, that was a WCW Championship. So let's play this out. We have 3 world titles. We have a tournament. We don't know who's in the tournament yet, but we have a tournament that's coming up at Night of Champions to determine who's going to be the new champ. So you're telling me we're waiting. We're doing this because Roman Reigns, he absolutely has to hit 1,000 days as the Universal Champ. So what happens to the titles once the world champion is crowned? Is it 1 title or 2 titles? Or do you retire one of them? Because you're not going to just say it's the Undisputed Championship. So what happens if you retire the championship that he held on to for 1,000 days because you don't want to destroy the lineage of the belt you've had since 1963? So that 1,000-day lineage just goes up on the shelf and nobody can ever contend for it? So you're just going to retire a belt? All because you want to hit 1,000 days, but we have to have something for these dudes to do on Monday Night Raw?
Yo, essentially, that is the point. That's it. You just hit it on the head. Yo, it's brand exclusive. That's all it is.
Why couldn't you have a brand exclusive Universal Championship and a brand exclusive WWE Championship like you had in the first fucking place? Why did Roman Reigns need to win both if you didn't know how you were going to get one of them off of him?
I'm going to go kayfabe on you and just be like, hey, man, we just need a workhorse champion. We need somebody who's going to be there all the time. We can't have somebody who's just going to be there part-time.
Right. And my shit would be...
stay there on SmackDown.
And my kayfabe answer to that is that means that the people that work in your front office that signed on the negotiated contract with Roman Reigns said, I may or may not come to work, but I'm still going to be the champ, are all idiots and all need to be fired.
You know, in this whole topic, I couldn't even think of anybody outside of Jey Uso that's going to take the title off of Roman in the near future besides Jey and Cody.
Here's how it's
got
going to be.
a long time till WrestleMania 40.
There is only, and here's the part two for this, and then I'm gonna pass it. You have this World Heavyweight Championship, and immediately a lot of the conversation online was that, yeah, this is the consolation title. This is basically niggas that couldn't beat Roman. We're gonna give them something to do. The only way that this is not the consolation title is if Seth Rollins wins it. Here's why. Last time they had a match, it was Royal Rumble last year, and Roman Reigns had to intentionally get disqualified in order to hold on to his championship. If you ask Seth Rollins anything about Roman Reigns, he's going to say he's the one person, or I'm the one person, pardon me, that he's never beaten, can't beat. So I have no reason to believe that we face each other again. That's not going to be the case.
He beat him at Money in the Bank 2016. Pedigree, flat, clean in the ring. Won a WWE title for the second time.
So it has to be Seth Rollins, because if it's anybody, especially anybody that Roman Reigns faced in a world championship match and beat, it's automatically underneath. And why should we care? Put it up on the same pedestal. It absolutely cannot be Cody Rhodes.
No.
If I'm Cody Rhodes, I wouldn't even want to.
to win this new title.
Pull an
new one.
AEW
Oh, no,
fit.
definitely not.
I will never challenge for this world
not.
title.
If I'm Cody Rhodes, again kayfabe, if I'm Cody Rhodes, I wouldn't even want to be in the tournament. I don't care about this new title. I want that one. I'm going to do everything I can to get back to that one. Money in the Bank, whatever I got to do.
Because isn't Cody Rhodes chasing the actual WWE Championship?
Cody Rhodes ain't chasing shit. Right? Oh, yeah, that's what he wants, because his pops never had it.
Right,
WWE Championship.
Right, the actual WWE Championship that Roman has. That's what he was chasing. So
here's storytelling, right? All you had to have Cody do is say, I want the WWE Championship, and then challenge for that one at WrestleMania. Even if Roman loses, he's still the Universal Champion, and you can still run the numbers up.
Just don't hit the same, man.
None of this hits. None of this hits. None of this hits for me. But I don't know. I think the shit is it's stupid.
Brand exclusive.
It's
brand
stupid.
Exclusive. That's all I'm leaving it as. Brand exclusive. We'll see.
No,
6 months from
100%.
now.
It was
how the
always
brand
the right.
exclusive
It was
should work.
always the right move to have. If you're going to have roster, first of all, they got to actually stick to exclusive rosters.
That's what I'm
and this
saying.
shit- And this usually lasts for 2 weeks, 2 months, pardon me, and then they just lose focus. But let's say in a perfect world, this is the roster you get on Monday. This is the roster you get on Friday. There is no mixing. The only time you see any of these people is maybe at WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble. Not even like they need to be brand exclusive PLEs. Like
That's
they
what
were
they're,
doing.
They're talking about going back to that.
that's
I really want to see them get back to that exclusive
and
era.
it should be.
SmackDown 6, 2002 era when it was like, yo, every show really felt different. Like SmackDown and Raw felt nothing alike at that time period I was watching that shit.
Yeah, and it should be. It's just that this is the stupidest way to actually get there.
Well, apparently they have some type of logic behind it. So
There's no logic.
that's
There's a
what-
destination, but no logic.
Definitely a destination, no logic.
I'm done.
That's that. Done.
All right. So we all know this week, tomorrow, start of the WWE draft, splitting the brands again, and I wanted us to choose a top 10 list of wrestlers that we want on our brand. Doesn't have to be Raw, doesn't have to be SmackDown. It could be either or. It doesn't matter. So I don't know if you guys. I know some of you came up with like 5 or 6 of them. I actually came up with like a full 10.
I mean,
10
it's concentrated with that one.
Oh yeah, I pretty much picked them in 5 minutes. Nothing crazy, and some of them are not even like complete order. You know what I'm saying? I just picked some guys that I want to be on like my brand. You know what I'm saying? And there are some in there that we put into some of these segments, like the cook segment and whatnot. But I do have some explanation behind it. So, first guy I picked was I picked Tyler Bate because I love Tyler Bate. I love his style. You know what I'm saying? The dude is super dope in NXT UK, NXT UK champion. You know, he came to NXT and he lost the belt to Braun Breaker in the title unification match. He's kind of been just floating around. But it hasn't been terrible. But if it was up to me, I'd bring him out to the main roster. I may want to see him get the belt. You know what I'm saying? Whatever belt, one of the 3 belts that they will have. A second pick is Seth Rollins because you know that's the guy right there. Third pick is Gunther. Keep that IC belt run going. Fourth pick is Pete Dunne because I want him to go back to the bruiserweight. He's cool right now, but I want to see that bruiserweight like he was back in NXT UK and when he was in regular NXT. The first tag team I picked was the Street Profits. I can I don't want to see him split now, but I also see a star in Montez Ford. I think we've all seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like it. You know, we can like do some like controversial shit. I'll do some controversial stuff and like split them up and give Montez Ford a little run, and then they can come back together. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? The possibilities are endless. My 6 and 7 pick is Ali and Dolph Ziggler, and the reason I picked them is because just like we didn't say Dolph Ziggler in the segment, but they may be cooked, but I feel like, listen, I'll draft them, give them a year, see if I can change the gimmick, change the character, do whatever, because they're damn good in the ring. They're good, Dolph Ziggler is a good 6-man. I forgot who. I don't know if I had sent the clip to y'all, but they were saying like Dolph is like the best 6-man or whatever it was. I sent it a while ago, but I was like, yo, get him out of catering, get him back in the ring, do like a best of 7 series or something. Get him out there, do something. And if their gimmicks are not rocking, then they're fried. They're completely fried. And same thing for the next pick is Braun Strowman. I'm going to revert Braun Strowman back to when he had the ponytail. That was superb booking back then as the monster before they put the damn Strowman Express on him. And it was just downhill from there. Number 9, I got the Hurt Business. You need to please bring them back. I'm definitely trying to bring them back together, man. It's about time. I thought it was gonna happen by now. At number 10, I got Bianca Belair. For Bianca Belair, listen, I love Bianca Belair, but she's now becoming John Cena to me, where it's like, all right, you're good. Listen, I think it's time for a heel turn. You know what I'm saying? Something different from her, something different for her. You know what I'm saying? And I love Bianca Belair, but I'm like, yo, something has to change for now. So if it's on my faction, not my faction, if it's on my roster, I'm gonna do that. For a bonus, I put Zoe Starks because she's fantastic in NXT. She's like one of the standouts, and then she did justice when she was in the Royal Rumble. You saw the great potential there. So I could definitely see it going on the main roster. And 2 other guys is AJ Styles. Still love AJ Styles, man. Salute to this guy. I think he broke his leg, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it's either that or ankle or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when he heals up, he's still gonna be good. And same thing for I got Randy Orton as well. I think one of the best heels in the game still. Before he got injured, he was really having fun with Riddle, with RK Bro. He's really, testing himself out with the mic work and whatnot. Something he wasn't doing too much before, so definitely want to see him come back. I really can't call how long he will have after that, but, we'll see when he comes back. So, that's my list right there. So, what you guys got?
All right, I got a list. I put it together just now. I had 5 before, and then I rethought it. How would I put this roster together? I got 6 women. I have 6 men, and I have a bonus 2 tag teams.
Okay.
Here we go. First of all, ladies first, Io Sky is the best wrestler in WWE. Period. At least in the women's division. I got Asuka. I have Bianca Belair, Rhea, Zoe Starks, and Charlotte. Like Belair, Rhea, and Charlotte, all, and you could even throw Ronda in there, but I ain't select Ronda. but like legitimate, like you look at them and you're like, nah, this person really could beat somebody's ass. They all look like legitimate top tier A-list athletes before you even see them do anything. And then when they get in the ring, you already know what time it is. Verified A-list top shelf athletes. So that's my list as far as the my women's division would be built around Io Sky, Belair, Rhea, Zoe Stark, Charlotte, and Asuka. I think those are the best. And anytime I see them do something on TV, I make sure I pay attention, regardless of how good or bad the storyline is. Men's division. AJ Styles and Big E, maybe those are bonus because AJ Styles and Big E are both out right now as far as injuries are concerned. I've been quoted in saying for some time that until I see somebody better than AJ Styles, I don't think anybody's better than AJ Styles. And AJ Styles still hasn't really lost a step to me, even though he was injured when he was out. When he can actually do what he's supposed to do and what he wants to do and what you know AJ Styles for. And then his little details, the way he throws a punch, everything looks crisp. And there's things that he does that you can't do. You can't mimic it. You know, it doesn't look like anybody else. Gunther. I think Gunther is another year away from being legit main event, you know, in WWE. I think it's tough. Like everybody wanted that Gunther versus Brock Lesnar match, and the only reason I was hesitant to want that match was he lost all of that weight. So when you put him right next to Brock, he looks like he could just get manhandled. So now he's gonna, you know, bulk up a little bit, but it's gonna be muscle instead of, you know, the Walter. You know what I mean? But I think he's, you know, by the time we get to next Mania season, he's up there, main event status for real. Montez Ford. Montez Ford is the perfect person right now to build your IC or US division around. He hasn't had a singles run yet. Right. But he hasn't had a singles run yet, and I think that's the only reason why I wouldn't automatically put him in the world title division yet, because he hasn't proven himself as a singles wrestler yet. But you get him in there, do things like the King of the Ring tournament, or you do things like put him in an IC feud or a US feud with Austin Theory right now would be interesting. So Montez Ford is the perfect person, again, who could eventually be and should eventually be a main eventer. Pete Dunne, bruiserweight. That's my style of wrestling. I wanna just bend you and all kind of I want to hurt you, right? And I want to have fun doing it.
And that's why I chose him too.
Yeah, bending niggas in different positions. It's crazy. Pause.
Yeah, well, fuck y'all. My two bonus, I got two tag teams. I would put Brock and Bobby together. I would put Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley together. Because like if you want
heavyweight hustle.
There you go. Heavyweight hustle. If you want to get an amazing pop for any of your tag teams, you put them in a feud and build them to beat those two, because there shouldn't be anybody that beats those two.
Nah, honestly, watching the two of them tag team together and just have fun, like squash matches, like squash tag team matches. I feel like we don't get that much. We don't get that.
Reminds me of Undertaker and Kane.
This is the 80s Legion of Doom. Just brought back. You don't need the spikes and all of that, but if you see the two of them walking side by side down to the ring, down the ramp, you're going to shit yourself.
They would be tag team champions for a minute on their respective division.
My other tag team would be, I would put Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura together. You don't have two other people that I think fit better together that wouldn't immediately make sense until you see them. You know what I'm saying? Like you see the two of them, they're flamboyant. You can't explain what kind of movement is this? What are you doing? What is this? But you're drawn in every time. And once the bell rings, two of them are among the best in the world. So Seth, you just run a tag team feud with Seth and Shinsuke versus Bobby and Brock and tell me I'm not selling tickets. I know how to do this. So that's my draft.
Okay.
All right.
Not mad at that.
Notice I didn't say Roman because I ain't paying niggas that don't come to work.
Pretty much. I'm going to go with my number one outlandish pick out of my picks. And this is kind of why I feel like we do need a second show, yo. Because the kayfabe version of this and also like the storyline version of this shit, it's like, dude, I want to give some serious picks, but it's just like, dog, you know how this shit's going to go. We either going like, these picks is really not going to mean much, or these picks really won't mean much in 6 months when this brand's draft shit is just cross-promoted and everybody's challenging for any title on any brand, and we're looking back at episodes.
This is what's going to happen.
Like, what the fuck did we predict? What did we waste 10 to 15, 20 minutes on talking about?
I don't trust the process.
Episodes we've had, We really sat here and deep dived on a draft that had nothing to do with nothing because that shit was pointless. But I'll get back to it. Victor Wembanyama is going to get drafted to SmackDown. That is from the NBA, number one NBA prospect. I'm going to go with him. He's going to get drafted. I'm going to go with who's good? No. It's coming to me. I'm going to go with Gable Stevenson again. Again, we're going to get another Gable Stevenson pick. Why? Because you got to keep Gable Stevenson around. Watch. Y'all laughing, but when number 7, Gable Stevenson pops up, we're like, again? Those guys got drafted last year.
Yo, a funny-ass gimmick would be the dude that gets drafted but never wrestles, like 10 years from now. And with the 10th pick, he's been drafted more times in matches that he's had.
Yo, so I'm going with that. If I have to get pretty serious, I'll go with switching up the Intercontinental U.S. titles. Let's get Gunther on Raw so he can get closer to Brock Lesnar, Austin Theory on SmackDown so you can get him off of live television on Monday.
Hold on. Pardon me. I don't mean to interrupt. We didn't even think about that shit. So they would swap the titles again, right?
Yeah. It would
so then Gunther goes and he's the U.S. champion?
No. They would swap the
Intercontinental title.
Okay.
Because remember, they did that stupid shit with the tag titles. Oh, this color goes over here. So
I
remember that, yeah.
Which is something we didn't really talk about. I don't feel like that's going under that is going under the radar right now, where I feel like they're not even talking about where the tag titles are going to go because there's still 2 belts, 2 different colors, 2 different brands. So that is something that I feel like they haven't even touched on yet. We will see after SmackDown tomorrow, after this Uso debacle and all this shit is over, but I feel like that's something they're keeping in the tuck. They're going to be like, hey, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, y'all got to split them belts up. It is what it is. That's what I feel like will probably be their downfall. Those belts have to get split up. Speaking of splitting up, Street Profits. Dawkins goes heel, Montez goes babyface. Don't even have them interact with each other. Split them up. Do like the Dudley Boys.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Let Hawkins figure out his own shit unless he's going to be Impact World Champion 3 years from now. That's cool too. Future endeavor, I'm going to send him to Impact. I have no problem with that. And Montez, he will be a huge star for years and years to come in the WWE, especially with a beautiful wife like Bianca Belair beside him. I'm going to say, I said Street Profits. We swapped the titles. I'm going to go with Charlotte Flair to Raw. That's pretty much expected, I feel like. That's going to be the big pop so we can get her closer to Bianca Belair taking an L and ruining her longest reigning title run so Charlotte Flair can be the 15-time women's champion of WWE. SummerSlam, Detroit, 2023. Y'all know where I said it first. NXT-wise, we're going to get Braun Breaker, maybe Cora Jade, Grayson Waller for sure, Cameron Grimes, Zoe Starks. We said a lot of these names, but I feel like these names should be here. It's their time to be here now. Like, there's 3 hours of Raw and interchangeable SmackDown. We can fill in Grayson Waller, Braun Breaker, Cora Jade, Zoe Starks, even Cameron Grimes. But knowing NXT and the way the history and the draft works, they're going to call up like Apollo Crews. And it's going to be like, huh? Apollo's back? Again? They're going to give us like somebody totally left field. It's going to be like Caden Carter and Katana Chance and all of them. They're going to be like, wait, you guys drafted up the random former women's tag team champions so they can just be here to lose to the new random women's tag team champions? Cool. That's what I mean by like these drafts won't matter 6 months from now. But those are all my like picks draft wise. Oh, and I will say Damage Control, if they stay together, they're going to go to SmackDown. That'll be the same bet. Put them on SmackDown. Get them out of here. Get them off of Raw and start clean on SmackDown. You know what I mean? They could use it. Bayley, Rhea Ripley, Zelina Vega, whoever else is there. I don't know. It's the Ringside Club, man. Follow us, like and subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. We might think about making these 2 shows, kayfabe and behind the scenes. Really a serious idea.
Yeah, it has to happen. It has to happen.
I want to support this draft, but I'm just like, dude, this sucks.
Well, look, here's how this is gonna go. Roman Reigns is gonna be the #1 pick, and he's gonna stay on SmackDown.
Cody I think is the #1 pick.
I think would be. I mean, but if you're a general manager, why wouldn't you pick Roman?
And that also is thing of who are the general managers. Adam Pearce runs both shows, or is it
I
gonna
think
be
they're probably going to do it like Fox and USA.
that they're going to have the robots and the mascots in the office like they did a couple of years ago.
But I thought that was kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? Have the Fox.
Yeah, the advertising guy. It's like, yeah, I see it. I see it.
That's kind of cool. But I mean, think about it. If I'm trying to spend ad money over here, why wouldn't I want the change? Well, you know what I mean? Like me personally is like, all right, cool. The 2 or 3 times he might show up, we're gonna get great ratings. So let's pick Roman Reigns number 1.
Unbelievable.
Belair is gonna be number 2. A lot of people are gonna stay exactly where they are. There's gonna be 1 or 2 surprises. I think like there might be somebody that comes back from injury. You know, hands pressed together in a prayer. I think Big E would be one of those guys. If he's healthy, that would be amazing. I was just
thinking that too. Like,
yeah, Randy Orton's another guy. He's been on the shelf. That would be amazing. You know, but again, like I don't know. I am not excited about any of this. I'm not excited.
We might really have to branch off and just have a strictly kayfabe show where we're mad excited into like the storylines. Like, yeah, I can't wait for the draft next week.
I'm not. No, I wouldn't even play it like that. I would just be like, yo, this nigga, he doesn't show up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It used to be when Gorilla Monsoon was the president, Jack Tunney was the president. You have 30 days to defend your title, or we're stripping you of the title.
I remember them.
Paul Heyman is good, but how is Paul Heyman that good that he was able to negotiate a contract for Roman Reigns with all of the billions of dollars worth of money that WWE can spend for lawyers? That I'm going to sign off on this dude not coming to work. Who signed off on that? You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
That's how you talk about burying. You just buried the entire front office and back office.
But then they go into an even further deep dive of where does Roman even go once he loses, man?
Home. Hollywood.
You're going to use more PTO.
You still need that guy around, man. He can't just disappear.
This was such a layup, bro. All Cody had to do was beat him at Mania. And everybody's like, yo, this doesn't make sense because he's not ready. If you have him beat him at Mania, right? The story still continues with Roman Reigns now doesn't have the ability to just throw his weight around because you don't have the title yourself anymore. Right? Then he's going to start putting blame on the Usos and putting blame on Solo Sikoa. And you see the crumble of the bloodline. Shit got to end.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. And I think that's why they're holding on to it. You're not wrong. That's why they're holding on to this.
And that's the problem. How many TV shows were really good until they weren't anymore?
Yo, WrestleMania 40. Nobody has ever done what Roman Reigns is about to do. Back to back to back to back WrestleMania main events. Up team 1,500 days, 1,300, 1,200 days as the WWE Universal Undisputed Heavyweight Champion. Never before done. That's the marquee they're selling. That's it. That's it. That's all they're selling.
They out here just
topic, but that's
they out here just selling stats. They out here selling stats.
That's all they're selling
for a fucking show that they write. This ain't real.
That is all they're selling, y'all. So get ready for it.
Listen, PTO.
Get ready for it, y'all.
PTO.
Yo, peace to Tony Khan. I'm coming over there.
The one guy who didn't, you know what I'm saying, Tony Khan, he didn't pick up this next person that I'm speaking on, Trinity Fatu. Signed with Impact Wrestling briefly. It's not going to be a one-off appearance. She's going to be sharpening her iron at the Impact Zone the next couple of tapings. I'm interested, for sure. Big fish, little pond. I'm cool with that. The Knockouts division is fired. Deonna Purrazzo just beat Jordan Grace. She's the new Knockouts champion. Mickey James still in the fold. Killer Kelly, Giselle Shaw, Jessica Havoc. There's quite a few. Tasha Steeles. There's a lot. Savannah. There are quite a few women in the Knockouts division that can help keep, Trinity Fatu alive. Obviously, it's not going to be Naomi. I feel like she'll be Trinity Fatu. Maybe she'll just be Trinity. Who knows? There was a previous Trinity in TNA, so I don't know if they want to confuse people with that. But I'm here for it. I didn't hear too much news about it. People weren't going crazy. The news that I did see, people were just congratulating and saying, yo, dope, thank you. Like, that's great. I'm happy to finally see you back. I think it's going to be a great look. I didn't see too much backlash. Anyone that did have anything negative to say was like, oh, this is just a stepping stone to get back to WWE, or why would you go to Impact? Because Impact sucks. But everybody made a big deal about Sasha or Mercedes Moné going to New Japan. Rightfully so. She's been killing it in her matches. You know what I'm saying? Just lost the women's championship. I'm happy. I'm very happy, yo. That's it. That's all I got to say. I'm looking forward to it. She probably won't win the championship anytime soon because Deonna just got it back. But it'll be good to keep that promotion busy, keep herself busy, draw some eyes to Impact, and not fall in the lines of Tony Khanland dwindling off in AEW / Ring of Honor blunder, not going back to the lower mid card of WWE, perhaps even coming back and getting. Imagine if Naomi came back and got drafted to NXT. Like, how crazy is that? Like, wow, like I took this time off to come back and go to NXT. Like, that was what I was doing. So I don't see that happening. Impact is the right choice. The only thing they could have just said was MLW. If they would have said MLW, I'd have been like,
I couldn't see that.
Oh no. But
Impact,
I'm cool with Impact. I could live with Impact. And I think this buys us time until Forbidden Door when we get Mercedes and Trinity in AEW. Tag team against somebody. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm done. Sip
Yeah.
wine.
I mean, yo, so a couple things here. Very, very long time ago, on some podcast that Ron and I were doing, whatever the name of that podcast was at the time, because it's changed a couple of times, I said something along the lines like, yo, Trinity, I think, is one of the best, definitely one of the best athletes, and I really, really would love to see her get a little bit more of a real serious singles run, because I think she could have handled it. And this is, 6 years ago, however many years ago. This is a minute ago. She's always been.
She was actually the women's champion too, by the way. She held the belt for a little hot second at that
for sure, but she was. First of all, it took her a long ass time to get that title, and then even then, she wasn't positioned the same way you see a Charlotte or Bianca Belair. I don't need anybody to have a 4-year reign to be looked at as a legitimate champion. Just book them like a fucking legitimate champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have somebody that's like, nah, you can't beat me. I am the best. You know what I'm saying? And because people write these scripts and tell people what to say, all you have to do is have Trinity come out there and say, nah, I'm the best. You can't beat me. And then have her win, because you know how wins and losses actually do matter, you stupid motherfuckers. So I think this is also really cool, her going to Impact, because in general, like, not saying that this is her road back to WWE, but we saw how the wonders that this did for two people in particular, Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, how they got out of that system and they were able to go around and travel and work the indies and work wherever, Impact included, and really find themselves. The one thing that Naomi has never done is be anything but Naomi. Right, so we don't know what Trinity looks like, if her character is different. Are there any ideas that she's wanted to get off that she hasn't been able to get off when she was in WWE? Like, just to be able, again, the creative freedom. Anywhere outside of WWE, for the most part, you can do what you want within the storyline that promotion is trying to tell. So that's one thing that I'm very, very interested in. And then those matchups, like Deonna Purrazzo versus Trinity, is a very interesting styles clash. You have a mat-based wrestler, submission, I can put you in these different holes, versus somebody like Trinity who's able to do a lot of aerial maneuvers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not as well versed with the entire roster, but there are some people over there that I'm very interested in seeing.
Pretty much everyone I named is like the highlight of the Knockouts division. Yeah. They all put on some quality matches in their own right.
Yeah. And then in general, like, I think, again, like you mentioned that they, around Forbidden Door time, they're probably going to make their way over to AEW, or at least that pay-per-view. Again, if everything that we're reading is true and there's another show, you have 150, or so people that are signed to AEW, I guess between AEW and ROH. Now that would mean that there's actual room, because this isn't like a Rampage show where it's taped and there's nothing really happening. This is a live show, Saturday night prime time, 8 to 10, if everything that is said is actually true. So there's a lot more room and space for people.
The Owen Hart tournament confirmed it.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kind of confirmations, because like
it's happening on a Saturday.
There's also a Chicago show that's booked for a Saturday that everybody's saying this is when Punk is going to come back. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot outside of the actual press release that says this is called Collision. This is pretty much, this is where they're going. So I think, eventually Trinity's also smart. She hasn't wrestled in however long they've been out. You know what I'm saying? So to go over there and Impact, where there is an audience but it's not as big and the spotlight isn't as bright, you get your wheels back under you a little bit. You test different styles and see, yo, let me see what I could do. Let me try some things. Let me work it out. And then once they get their shit together over there with the new show and figure out what the women's division is going to look like, I can go over there once I'm warmed up and I got my momentum and I'm moving. So I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all for people that if I don't want to be here, I'm going to figure out a way to go somewhere else where I want to be. You see, the Mercedes still loves wrestling and she's wrestling and killing it. And you see the Trinity still loves wrestling because she's going to Impact. So I think it's dope.
She's also one of the few people who are in the space where she's married to one of the biggest stars in the WWE Top Dog company. So it's like, whenever the door and the opportunity for her to come back is there, I'm sure her and Jimmy have the conversation any given night. So it's like, yo, I'm about to go sharpen up my skills and not just come back looking a little dusty. Like, I want to make sure like I'm like still good. I can hang with some of the best and I can get some boost, get a good check. You already pulling in top money. Why do I need to bleed companies dry for my paycheck when we're all under the same roof? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and again, and I'll end on this.
Mercedes is different. She probably was going to take that big bag. But Trinity, I feel like, doesn't need the bag to be like, yo, I think that's why she went to Impact. Like, I don't really need the OD bag. Like, the reports aren't, I don't know. I can't speculate on the reports and what they're saying about it's not true, of asking price, whatever. But it's like, yo, my husband is one of the biggest stars in the WWE. Like, I don't need to kill you over the head for a ticket if I don't need to.
Yeah, but I mean, like, and I'll end on this. Like, even if her plan is to do what Drew and Cody did, is like, I'm gonna get my name up and go outside. Like, this is how you get yourself back. The reason why Mercedes and Trinity left in the first place was because they wanted to take those tag titles and elevate those shits to actually mean something. Because you see,
right,
it doesn't really mean anything right now. You know what I'm saying? They got the tag team champions that are doing 3-way tag matches.
Every time I see Raquel Gonzalez smile, every time Raquel smiles, bro, I just want to kick a puppy. I feel like, yo.
But look, you had the tag team champions at WrestleMania in a 6-woman tag match and not defend the titles. That's an example of why Mercedes and Trinity said, "Fuck this."
That's the compliment I'm sure they had while they watched WrestleMania. Like, yo, see, that's why we left.
We were right. Yeah, we were right. Yeah. So, like, creatively, they ain't doing shit. But even if that's her motive, she's gonna sharpen her shit up and get her name up. As long as she has good matches out there, she's gonna bounce back and forth between different federations. Maybe hit the New Japan Stardom circuit and do that over there with Mercedes or whatever. There's all sorts of matchups that she can have, and in a year's time, elevate her name to be like, nah, we are now clamoring for the Trinity match on whatever card she's supposed to be on.
Mm-hmm.
Word, man. As far as my thoughts on it, listen, I'm for anybody that's trying to get their money, try to get an opportunity. We ain't see Trinity in a minute since, the whole big booking situation with Mercedes Moné. So it's good to see that she's going somewhere, to make a living, man, and to make a money. You know what I'm saying? I remember, Chad, this is something you always say, something with get a jolt in the arm. You know what I'm saying? Impact seems like they're picking up a little more speed right now, so I feel like this is going to be another jolt in the arm. She's going to have some eyes coming over there. Listen, I'm not the biggest Impact fan in the world. I was watching it before, but now since she's gone back there, I may try to tune back in, see where this goes, see how the booking goes. But it's just a great opportunity for her to go back there, So definitely want to see where that goes. And there's some some good matchups that can happen down there, like you're saying with Deanna Purrazzo,
Jordan Grace, everybody, Mickey James, Killer Kelly, Jessica Havoc. Like, she got a lot of people, like Tasha Steelz. Like, and ain't no slouches in Impact when it comes to the Knockouts division. She gonna have some like noteworthy matches. Like, will people be tapped in? OD, I think so, because of Trinity. So that she's gonna bring the eyes that are needed and that they wanted. So she's gonna deliver. I think this is gonna be a very fun run for her. Yo, I'm looking forward to it. Good call for Impact Wrestling. Black wrestlers, salute to y'all.
Yeah, congrats to Trinity. New endeavors, new beginnings. Salute to you. All right, we got to get out of here. We've been on the air for almost an hour and a half, 90 minutes. This is the Ringside Club. Before we get out of here, we have an exit survey. We spoke a little bit about the World Heavyweight Championship, so why not a little bit more conversation? Here's the exit survey to go around the ring in as follows. What is the main event at Night of Champions for the World Heavyweight Championship?
Right or wrong answers only.
Right answers.
All
Right
right.
answers only. Here's what I think they're going to do. It's going to be Seth Rollins, and stupid as it possibly may be, it's going to be Cody. It's going to be Seth versus Cody. Seth gets his win back. Cody loses. Cody then wins the Money in the Bank. He goes on to fight Roman. But I think it's going to be Seth versus Cody, and Seth wins, becomes the brand new World Heavyweight Champion. Ron.
I was actually going to say Seth too, but I was still having a little trouble trying to think of the second person. Come back to me. Chad, you go. I'll think of somebody, and then you come back to me.
Oh, you sure you don't want to go now? Because I feel like mine is going to completely end the show.
You think so? All right.
Yeah, I think so.
As a right answer or a wrong answer?
Oh, it's going to be a right answer, but it's going to be so fucked up how wrong it is.
All right, so I'm going to say Seth, and look at Seth go against. I was thinking Bobby Lashley, but that could be decent. I was going to say him and Bobby Lashley, either Bobby Lashley or not Rey Mysterio.
Bobby solid.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, stick with Bobby.
Bobby solid.
Yeah, I stick with Bobby. 'Cause I was having an issue there. I was like, I feel like Seth Rollins was like the top contender I can see getting the belt, but like
y'all are saying the names that everybody is pretty much pitching that is going to be in that whole final fiasco. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have said the 3, and I'm going to say the 4. That's going to fuck y'all up and end this whole show. Night of Champions, main event, new WWE World Heavyweight Championship, Seth Rollins, Logan Paul 2. And you know who's going to win?
I was thinking that too.
You know
I was thinking Logan
It ain't
Paul
going to
too.
be Seth Rollins. It's going to be Logan Paul who wins the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to carry us into the summer of the Ringside Club. Let the part-time reigns begin.
Fam, I was thinking Logan Paul, but I was like, are they really going to let that rock?
Yeah,
I mean, it'll be good, fam. It's going to be a fire match.
Yeah.
But
Seth ain't going to get it that easy. He got SummerSlam coming up, man. Logan Paul summer on the way, baby.
Roman Reigns already beat Logan Paul, so there's how you make that title the consolation title. And with that, we are the Ringside Club, and we out.
Peace.
Peace, guys.